Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, everyone. It's 2:30 now, and as promised, welcome to Melta's online webinar from Bricks to Clicks. This webinar is co-organized by the Learning Sector, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Terengganu, Institut Pendidikan Guru Kampus Dato' Razali Ismail, Universiti Malaysia Terengganu, Universiti Sultan Zainal Abidin, UITM Cawangan Dungun, and IPG Sultan Mizan Besut. Let's start this webinar with Ummul Kitab since we are here to seek his knowledge and guidance. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Ista'in ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Selamat datang and welcome everyone. Thank you for choosing to be with us now. I pray that all of you are well and healthy, staying sane, and positive during this challenging time. It's a very challenging teaching time indeed, isn't it? Please share at the comment button below which part of Malaysia are you right now, whether you are cooped at home or enjoying your MCO-free moments. Hopefully it's a longer moment. Well done Terengganu for being free from being cooped out now. So thank you all. Keep on writing down there, keep on commenting. To get the ball rolling, let me introduce myself first. My name is Azza Jauhar and I'm one of the Melta Terengganu chapter committee member. The objective of this webinar today is actually to create a space, a sharing space for all English language teachers, lecturers, practitioners, or even pre-service teachers and all of you, all of us who are seeking for new knowledge. We are going to listen to 3 esteemed panels from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia. One of very dedicated teacher from KPM, and as well as a teacher from Universiti Malaysia Terengganu. We are going to listen to teaching tips, teaching tools, and experiences that worked and might not work that we can improvise as well. Before we do that, let us welcome Tuan Haji Azman. I hope you are ready, Tuan Haji, for the welcoming speech. He is going to speak on behalf of the Director of Terengganu State Education Department, JPNT. Okay, over to you, Tuan Haji.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Dr. Azza. Thank you for the lively introduction and also setting the mood for today's. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon. All praises are due to Allah. First and foremost, I would like to convey the warm greetings and best wishes for our esteemed director, Mr. Salim bin Ibrigani, who is unable to join us today as he has a meeting to attend to with the MOE at the same time. I will now read the speech that our director prepared for this occasion. Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be given a chance to deliver a welcoming speech to the great educators, passionate teachers, and wonderful colleagues like you in this webinar. For your information, this webinar is a collaboration between JPN Terengganu and the Melta Terengganu chapter team, which consisted of officers from JPN, PPD, lecturers from UMT, UNIZA, UITM, and also IPG Campus Dato' Razali and IPG Campus Amizan. We are hoping more of you, our teachers, will join our young Terengganu chapter team after this webinar, and you are more than welcome to join the National Melta to further enhance your professional networking among English educators and gain more knowledge in the language teaching. Henry Ford once said, anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. So guys, if you want to stay young, keep on learning, join the Terengganu Melta chapter. This is our second collaboration with this chapter. The first one was the Terengganu ESL Pedagogical Practices Colloquium, which was held last year at UMT. We were very grateful that our first joint venture went without a hitch, and I pray that this webinar would share the same success. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that we are hosting this event to help our fellow educators get together and have a common forum to discuss the current issue that we are having right now, which is home-based learning, which is where we got our theme for today, from bricks to clicks. I believe we all miss the days where we had our classrooms and normal routines of going from one brick wall to another brick wall, but now it's all about the metaphorical wall, the big wall of challenges. This wall means we have to deal with challenges of students who are not in our classroom anymore. And we are so desperately need them to learn. And why is that? Because it's our duty to get them educated. During these trying times, I know some teachers and principals are struggling with teaching students in the new norm. My admiration is that they never quit and they keep trying new methods of reaching out to our students. Hard times only prove that we have resilient teachers, educators who never give up. Like they said, necessity is the mother of invention. Through necessity, I see that our teachers can come up with many creative means to get the students to attend to online classes. We are going to witness that today with our panels. Whoever said that it was as easy as a click would never know the difficulties of getting students to click on the videos or file icons that we want them to learn. The temptation for them to click on TikTok ads or game ads is never far behind. Thus, the challenges for us is to deal with it and try to make our lessons as interesting and engaging as possible, and that will be the key to ensure students click on our lesson at first and always. There is one interesting quote by Josh Kuros. He said, technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. This year, because of the pandemic, we see many teachers using all kinds of social media platforms to reach out to the students. They have created many YouTube videos and channels, and the education ministry is also very proactive in providing the avenues for teachers to use so that they have abundant resources at their disposal. All we have to do is click away what we want to do, and the internet provides us with lots of ideas and contents that we can use with our students. But before we do that, please ensure that, or please remember, when it comes to e-learning, content is everything. If e-learning content is not carefully selected or designed, our effort may not be as effective as we wish them to be. This also applies to higher education students who are also affected by the pandemic. I believe your lecturers are using all means necessary to make their courses engaging, and we hope you too can get something from this webinar. My dear colleagues and fellow educators, as you all know, Terengganu has always been proactive in ensuring quality education to the students, right from the kindergarten all the way up to preschool students. With that in mind, we, we cannot do it alone. And we, for the State Education Department, has always been so lucky because we have tremendous support from various establishments like the Terengganu State Government, Jabatan Hak Ehwal Agama Terengganu, Yayasan Terengganu, Yayasan Raja Sultan Mizan, IPTS, IPGs, and also other NGOs. With all this, again, I wish to stress on why we need to have a, an active and vibrant Melta Terengganu chapter. We need to have our teachers to produce students who are proficient in the English language, as it is an important skill for them to acquire. We need our students to be proud of their roots. At the same time, they are global minded, where they should be knowledgeable and wise of today's world. With that in mind, I hope to see more collaborations between our teachers and lecturers and have them be engaged in professional learning communities, PLC, where we have our students' best interests at heart. We hope that we will have this collaboration annually, and I welcome more teachers to present papers, share their experiences, and also share their experiences with fellow educators at this platform. Finally, I wish to congratulate the Malta Terengganu Chapter Committee, led by our amazing Dr. Azlinda from IPG KDRI, for the outstanding leadership and teamwork in making this webinar a success. Not forgetting, thank you so much to our fabulous Dr. Azhar Johar of UMT as our today's moderator, and to our dedicated panelists, the fantastic Dr. Hawati Hashim from UKM, our very own credit teacher from SMK Padang Meeting, Mr. Pravin Dharan Balakrishnan, and our super Puan Halimatul Saadiah binti Abdul Rahman from UMT. All the best with your presentations. With the holy words from the Al-Quran, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby officiate the Malta Terengganu Chapter webinar from bricks to clicks. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Sonaji, for officiating this webinar and welcoming speech.
Yeah, very speedy one.
So as you said, good. So let's stay young. We no need jamu, lifelong learning rules, eh? Yeah. And also, Sonaji, thank you for the advertisement. Jom, semua, let's join Malta Terengganu Chapter. We'll actually give you a lot of learning space for everyone and sharing space as well. Thank you again, Sonaji. For our webinar today, Malta has invited 3 panelists who are very experienced in English language teaching. The first panel that we have today is Dr. Harwati Hashim. She is now teaching in University Kebangsaan Malaysia in Education Faculty. She has a PhD in Education, teaching English for second language. Her interests in teaching are technology-enhanced language learning, innovative pedagogy for language teaching and learning, as well as active learning. Dr. Harwati is down there. Hi, Dr. H. How are you, Dr. H?
Hi, fine. Thank you, everybody. Hi.
Yeah, thank you for being with us today. Dr. Harwati will be sharing with us some useful platforms for teaching English online to ensure meaningful and highly engaged learning. Inshallah. We'll be seeing her first later on. Thank you.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Thanks. The next panel is Mr. Pravindran Balakrishnan. He is now teaching in SMK Padang Meeting. He has 6 years experience in teaching. His highest qualification is MA in Cultural and Education Policy Studies. And hi, Pravin.
Hi, Dr. Azhar. Thank you for having me here.
This online thingy, your left and right is horrible. Yeah, like lady drivers, isn't it? Left, right. Okay, anyway, sorry. Your interest in teaching is English language education and education policy. All right.
Yes.
Mr. Pravin will be sharing some of his experiences and success stories with us. The things that we can replicate and co-create with our own learners later on. Okay, see you in a bit, Pravin, yeah?
Thank you, Dr. Azhar.
Thanks. Our third panel is Puan Halimatul Saadiah binti Abdul Rahman. Hi, Im.
Hi.
Yeah. Her highest qualification is Masters in Education from University Utara Malaysia. To all ladies out there, working mothers, young mothers, this is one, again, left and right is wrong. This is one example of a role model that you can follow by pursuing Masters, PJJ, long distance learning with UM, and Convo. Belum Convo lagi ya? Convo soon. No, not yet, but yet finished and completed her Masters, Alhamdulillah. She is my colleague in English Language Learning Center at University of Malaysia Terengganu, has been teaching for 10 years in UMT. What Im will be showing us, Madam Im will be showing us tools and some platforms that she has been using in assessing online writing assessments and assignments. So, and we are going to learn a few tips from her, inshallah. Okay, thank you. So I saw from the screen that I can see Miss Gladys online, Madam Rohaida, Miss Juliza online. So thank you for tuning in. Keep it coming and leave comments down there for us, okay? Okay, I'll explain how the session works. Okay, the session works. Each panel will be given 20 minutes sharing session. During these sessions, if you have questions, you have queries, you have comments, you may post them on the comment button. Comment button, no. You are going to post them in the comment space down there and press the button. And I will ask the panel from time to time about these questions, or I will combine them all to be asked at the end of the session. Inshallah, okay? After each session, what will happen is the panel will share a takeaway note that we want all of you to fill in. Therefore, there'll be 3 takeaway notes, okay? One from each panel. Why we do this, you know why? Because we want to make sure you are here. You are not just click here and then you go elsewhere. So you have to be here so that we know we are engaging you, okay? Please stay tuned till the end, okay? Up until 4 o'clock. Okay, Dr. H, are you ready, Dr. H? So we'll be listening to Dr. H session. I'll give you 17 minutes and I'll ding you later on, private message you. You have 3 minutes left, okay? All the best.
As for now, let me just double check. Did you hear any echo?
No, I think you're right. No echo for me. I can't hear any.
All right, okay.
All right. You want to share your slide?
Yes, so can I just share my slide? Thank you so much, Dr. Azhar, for the introduction. Let me just open my slide. Okay. All right, how is it now? Do you see my slide? Do you see my slide for now, Dr. Azhar?
Lah, yeah.
Okay.
All right. I thought I was like, sorry.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I was like, oh, I'm just talking to myself here. Don't worry, that's what online learning is all about.
Yeah,
but
I'm learning too. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Azhar, for the brief introduction about myself. And I would like to also congratulate and thank the organizer for having this kind of platform for us to share those kinds of challenges or perhaps best practices for online learning. And of course, here I would like to share some of the tools for meaningful and highly engaged learning. I hope everything is okay now because yeah, just in case if there is internet connection problem. But okay, so I'm going to allow me to introduce myself. It's a very quick one, I promise. I'm a senior lecturer and the head of undergraduate program for TESOL at the Research Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning, Faculty of Education, UKM. And I would say my research interest is on mobile assisted language learning, technology enhanced language learning, innovative pedagogy, active learning, language learning strategies and all. So basically, I am a member of Pacific Computer Assisted Language Learning, or known as PACCOL, as well as Mobile Learning Association Malaysia. Okay, so before I start, I would like everyone to help me to respond to my random survey. I have prepared 2 questions. If you can see on the screen now, you can go to www.menti.com and use the code 239640. Can everybody help me to respond to that quick survey? Okay, Dr. Azhar, I hope you may try as well responding to the survey. All right. So I hope everyone is trying because I'm going to show you what is the results of the survey. So, okay, maybe you can just refer to this one go to www.menti.com and use the code 239640, and then try to give some feedback on what is meaningful and highly engaged learning to you. How do you define meaningful and highly engaged learning? There are two questions. This is the first one. You can start answering the second one once you have finished the first one. So the answers is still progressing. Okay, you can see the word interactive. The biggest word, the biggest phrase in the word cloud is interactive. We can see the word active. We can see the word fun. We can see the word wow, practical in daily life. Great, okay. And we can see the word collaborative, compact information. Wow, good teacher. That's very interesting. And I can see, but still in the word cloud, we can see the word interactive is still dominating. Now fun is dominating the answer. So we can see that how you define meaningful and highly engaged learning is by somehow, if you were to agree with me, there are three main elements. About 4 or 5 dominant words or phrases here, which are collaborative, interactive, fun, active, interesting, and a lot more to be discussed. And you can see this if you were to look at this second one. Okay, let me check the second one. Okay, just share with me a very quick one, a very simple answer. How do you make your lesson meaningful and engaging? I was informed that the participant would be some of perhaps in-service teachers, perhaps pre-service teachers. I do have some of my students in watching this right now. But please kindly share with us, how do you make your lesson meaningful and engaging, especially when it comes to what you call PDPR, remote learning, online learning, digital learning, right? So full of energy. That is interesting. Okay, learner-centered, fun and active, playing games, right? Interesting. Using technology, discussion. Okay, ask and getting response from students, and many more. All right, thank you very much for the answers. Perhaps if we have time, we can go back to that. Let's just allow me to take through to my slides, what I'm going to present today. Okay, so because we are talking about implementing PDPR at home, implementing online learning, online teaching and everything. So today I'm going to share with you the tools for meaningful and highly engaged learning. And for your information, I have categorized the tools into 5 main categories. So I'm going to touch in my slides or in my presentation. Number 1 is infographic and presentation tools. Number 2, video or content creation or curation tools. Number 3, I'm going to share with you screencasting tools. Number 4, collaborative tools. And number 5, active learning tools. So there are 5 categories that I'm going to share with you. Because this is only like 20 minutes, so I'm going to just share with you the one that I have tried. And I think it's working, and I think some of the tools are awesome. As what Dr. Azhar mentioned just now, today is for us to share what works and what do not work, whatever we have tried before. So if you were to look into infographic and presentation tools, among the tools that I have used with my learners, because they are very this new generation, they are very visuals. They communicate with images, so therefore it doesn't work with them using too many words. So what you can do in providing a highly engaged content is probably by using infographic tools and presentation tools. So you have many. If you were to Google, there are like, I think, hundreds or perhaps thousands of tools. However, it may take time for you to try one after another. But all these I have tried. I have tried Infogram. I have tried Genially. I have tried Visma, Canva, Pictochart. I have tried Vengish one, but I don't really like it. Again, some of the tools may not be of your preference, and I do use a lot of Keynote. The last one is Keynote on your, I don't know, it's on my right as for now. Okay, so this is an example of Canva. So I think everyone is very familiar with Canva, so that you know that what Canva could benefit to your learners, because Canva is a very visuals, graphic design application or software. So you can see that you can customize your infographic, you can customize your social media content, you can customize your learning content using Canva. Okay, and this is so that I would like to share also another one, which is Genially, whereby for me Genially is something that is also very user friendly, and a lot of images or graphics that you may use to make your infographic or presentation very lively and interesting. Of course, there are a lot such as Prezi, Slido, and many more. And also don't forget PowerPoint presentation. There are a lot. But perhaps if you need something that is very instant to be used for your content creation, so you may opt to this kind of tools or software available online. Of course, some of the tools are free, some are paid. But of course, the one that I have tried, don't worry, I am not going to also spend my money for things that is not sure whether it is something worth buying or not. So as for now, I'm just using the free version. Of course, there are paid version like Canva Pro. If you were to pay, if you were to subscribe, it will take you to Canva Pro, which definitely more advanced and it offers more visuals for you to use. Okay, so I'm going to move into the next category. All right. Which is video or content creation or curation tools. So there are a lot, of course, as I mentioned just now, for infographic and also presentation tools. Same goes to video or content creation tools. If you were to ask your students, they have a lot of ideas on what tools to use, especially with their mobile. But of course, sometimes as educators, teachers, we may want to produce something that is interesting and of high quality. So among others that you can use are actually Biteable, Plotagon, Filmora, but Filmora is only 1 month free trial version. After that, you have to pay. Cam Studio, of course, I think this is very interesting. The latest one that people use to create content is TikTok. Believe it or not, TikTok is rather challenging for us to create content because you have only 60 seconds to compress everything using TikTok. Other than that, if you are an iPad user, if you have iPad at home, I myself an iPad user, so I use a lot of Keynote and iMovie for me to create video. Regardless of create or curate, those are among great apps that you may use. And this is an example of Plotagon, whereby this is a very animated based video creation. You can see that it is like a movie scene. So you can choose what scene, so it twists, it changes the way you present your content rather than telling the students perhaps more of storytelling. So you can have a different way of delivering your content, perhaps into storytelling or perhaps into movie-based learning. And what interesting about Plotagon is that it uses avatar. So you don't have to really draw yourself. You don't have to find 3D images of teachers and so on. Everything is provided in Plotagon. Okay, so I'm just sharing, as I mentioned just now, because I am an iPad user. Basically, all this I did using a Keynote and iMovie. As you can see here, the one that I drew this using Keynote, and then I record as a movie, and then I edit everything in iMovie software, which is free, available for Apple user, iOS, not just in the iPad, but also in phone. For those who are using iPhone, you can actually download iMovie and have this video editing on your phone at your fingertip. Okay, so just share with you what iMovie can do, which I think is quite something that could not be offered by other apps or other applications, is the green screen effect. So you can have like a very Hollywood-based content by using iMovie, because you can embed 2 videos. One is the video that you need to show, and another one is the green screen effect. So that can be done using iMovie. Okay, I hope I'm not too fast. All right, so the third category is screencasting tools. So what are the tools that you can use under screencasting? Why do we say screencasting? Is because perhaps you want to record your presentation and you want to see yourself delivering your presentation. So you may need a tools for you to screencast whatever you are delivering to your audience. So among other tools that you may use, actually, well, I would say that if you were to have like the most current devices, like mobiles, basically they have their built-in screen recording apps. In fact, if you were to use iPad, we have screen recording. iPhone, you have your screen recording. Samsung, you have screen recording. If you don't have it, you can just go to your Google Play or your Apple Store and just find one screen recording apps and then download. And I think the ones that I frequently use are actually screen recording for iPhone or iPad, and also Screencast-O-Matic. But you can also explore into Screencastify and Loom. I think Loom is quite interesting to be explored as well. And these are examples of available apps in if you were to use mobile, you can just prepare your content and then a screencast whatever you have in your mobile, probably while your husband is driving back to hometown. But since it's PKP now, so we cannot move around. Okay, so you can just download free version of these screencasting tools. In fact, if you were to talk about Screencast-O-Matic, if you don't have it in your laptop, you can still have it in your mobile, because Screencast-O-Matic is available in mobile version. Okay, so as for now, I think there is so many ways or so many tools that could assist or facilitate us in order for us to come up with our content creation and highly meaningful and highly engaged learning. And what most important is that not just us, we also need to consider our learners. So in order for us to make learning engaging, learning meaningful, we have to somehow look into collaborative approach. And therefore, we need collaborative tools, not just for us, but also for our learners. So what are among the collaborative tools that we can use? Of course, there are a lot. I think the simplest would be Google Docs, Google Slides, Padlet, Googles, and of course, if you were to venture or explore more, you can try to look into Discord. Discord is very recently very interesting, like Facebook. It's like a social-based learning platform. So you can use Discord with your students for them to collaborate each other. And then also Satori. Satori is like a story where you can put storyline, where students can actually compile their content and put into storyline. And of course, Canva, students can also collaborate using Canva. They can just collaborate together in one infographic, and they can just do it in a group. And of course, again, as an iPad user, I usually use Pages and Keynotes to collaborate. And worst case scenario, this is like if you were to have like low bandwidth, dealing about low bandwidth internet connection, you may end up with Telegram or WhatsApp. So don't worry, there are a lot of tools that you may use. It's just a matter of a teacher being innovative of how to explore and use different tools for highly engaged learning. Okay, so this is an example of Satori whereby you can actually put into stories, and then there are a few actually I'm not going to touch because I think most of us are familiar with Padlet, and we are also familiar with Canva. It's just the matter of how you utilize the tools and make it into collaborative learning tools. Okay, so next one is active learning tools. So we talk about meaningful and highly engaged, because just now when I asked how do you define what is meaningful and highly engaged learning to you, many mention about having engaging session, engaging lesson, fun and interactive. So therefore, of course, as a teacher or as an academic, you may need to also identify active learning tools. Okay, so these are some of the tools that can be used which I think the one that I use just now, I think all are familiar with the tools. It is called Mentimeter. Basically, I think most teachers know Kahoot, Quizzes. In fact, you may want to end up using Google Form, Telegram, Quizlet, GoFormative, and Flipgrade. I am not able to ask how familiar you are with the apps because I am now talking to myself because everyone is in the YouTube channel. So I'll just show you with the two apps that I am very familiar with. Okay, this is
17 minutes in, Dr. H.
yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I'm familiar with many of the things that you're using, which is good. But yes, tell us about formative.
GoFormative, yes, this is GoFormative. Of course, it is available in paid version, but I've been using the free version so far, and I have no issue using the free version. And I think it's efficient, it's awesome for teachers. In fact, mathematic teachers, you can use. It's very friendly apps for teachers or students to actually draw and share their answer, especially when it comes to formulas, writing formulas, and then do calculations, so on. So those are the things that I like about GoFormative. And as you can see, the one that it offers for a free version is the one without the star. So you can see here the type of questions that you may use: essay, multiple choice, multiple selection, short answers, show work, true or false. Those are good already. And as you can see here, upload your content, which is enhancing a PDF document. You can usually teachers, we have PDF document for us to, like, for example, comprehension questions. You have readings, and then perhaps you have sort of a question to ask based on each paragraph. So you can actually construct and structure the PDF, enhance the PDF, put your question accordingly in between. So that is what I like about GoFormative. And this is an example of fill in the blanks of multiple choice question. Okay, so we can just add the answer, and then it will analyze for us. All right, and this is like example of fill in the blanks. I did this one for, I think, Melta Kelantan chapter. We had a session for us to demonstrate to how to use GoFormative. And also now the second one that I would like to share briefly for everybody to explore after this, because we really don't have time to go through the apps, but perhaps I would share here. I'm not sure whether this is in advance promotion, but I'm going to have a sharing with Melta Negeri Sembilan on Flipgrade. Perhaps I will share. I don't know. I think among Meltas you will distribute promotions, right? Perhaps you'll be able to join as well. Okay, so this is Flipgrade, and I use Flipgrade very much with my learners because I think what good about Flipgrade is that it can empower students' voice, meaning that to let's say, for example, if you were to assess students' speaking skills, usually it's very difficult if we were to ask students to video record themselves and send us via Telegram or WhatsApp. That's good, fine. Worst case scenario, but however, we may need someone, a platform that can manage all that. So I think Flipgrade is very efficient. It's a very good, awesome tool for empowering students' voice. Because if I can show you, these are among the answers given, and we can have students upload only videos in Flipgrade. Only videos are accepted in Flipgrade. That's why I said it is a tool that empowers students' voices. And you can give marks by giving, you can set the rubric, and then you can set, if you can see from the screen, ideas, performance, construct, you can change the construct into your own. You can customize or you can tailor based on your needs for the assessment, and you can also send your feedback to the students. So that's what I like about Flipgrade. Okay, moderator, do I still have some minutes?
Yeah, sure. 1 minute.
Okay. All right. Okay, Dr. Azhar, I'll make it fast. Okay,
Yeah.
so basically, all in all, actually, regardless of the tools that teacher or educator need to use, but you have to consider all this. At the end of the day, without this element, it will be very difficult to claim that your lesson is meaningful and highly engaged. So what are the 7 elements? Of course, the first one is active, collaborative, conversational, contextualized, reflective, intentional, and constructive. So all these 7 elements are very important in ensuring meaningful and highly engaged learning. And if I were to have your feedback, we may have a different perception, but I would like to share the one that I did with my undergraduate students. When I asked them what is meaningful and highly engaged learning to them, as you can see in their answers, 19 of them goes for collaborative, meaning that what message that need to be analyzed here is that students need a lot of collaborative learning, and therefore you may want to consider using a collaborative tool with your learners. But bear in mind, these are undergraduate students, so therefore it could be personalized according to your learners. So this is very interesting, you may ask your learners, how do they define highly and meaningful and highly engaged learning? But all in all, for me, I think there are 5 keys for us as educators, as teachers, in this in the test, challenging situation, being having said that we have to teach using PDPR and so on, that of course the first key is our mindset, and that the second one is the learners, involve our learners as co-creator as well as co-curator. Don't let you yourself force what is the best for the learners. Sometimes you have to give them the authority to decide their content, let them create their own content and see what comes in the end. You may never know. Okay, key 3 is the digital pedagogy of the teacher. Of course, as a teacher, you have to identify what is the right approach, what is the right one to fulfill key 4, which is the learning objective. Set first, what do you want to be achieved for your learning, and therefore you go back to the pedagogy, you go back to the content, and of course, then you will have to identify the right tool to fulfill your learning objective. And of course, key 5 is being able to leverage the ecosystem. All right, because Dr. Asa said I have about 1 minute to go, just a little bit of, not to say promotion, but all in all, what I usually do, I use my iPad. I know some would say iPad is very expensive. Up to you, this is people's own choice. But I use iPad for almost everything, my content, my slide, animation, engaging, interactive, whatever you want, name it. And those who are very new to iPad, you can just, if you have allocation, you can have one. And we have a lot of modules for teachers to help teachers to create content using music, drawing, photo, videos, and so on. And okay, so this is something to take home, Dr. Azhar. I hope that everybody can actually go to goformative.com/join just to check whether everyone is listening. And I would love to listen to other panelists as well. Time is very limited. So please go to goformative.com/join and enter code VZG5UD. Is everyone getting this, Dr. Azhar? I'm not sure. Should I move to the next slide ke ataupun? Okay. So I hope I'll check after this, and perhaps I will share in other platform, perhaps in the YouTube after this, so that everybody can respond. Right. So for me, I always believe whatever it is, whatever tools you're using, make sure you concern is the 3 things: hands-on, minds-on, and hearts-on. So with that, thank you very much. If you have any question or clarification, you may put in the chat, as well as if you want to email me personally, you can email me at harwati@ukm.edu.my. Thank you very much. I think over to you, Dr. Azhar. Meanwhile, I'll just display poster for our program with the Lima.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's all from me. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you so much. Well done.
Yep.
20 minutes is not enough for us teachers, isn't it? When we have a mic, it's not enough.
All right.
Although
Okay.
So we are
If you
talking
give us
on
2
our own
hours.
actually.
Okay.
Exactly. MashaAllah. 5 types of tools were introduced to us just now in short period of time. The first one is infographic, content creation, co-creation and curation tool, screencasting tools, collaborative tools, and active learning tools.
Yes.
And I like your last slide, the second last slide, the hands-on, minds-on, and hearts-on. It's
Yes.
spot on. Wow.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's just humanizing the technology is very important.
Yes. Okay. I think at the end of the or during in the chat later on, can you share the slide with the participants, the audience,
Can.
please? Okay.
Can.
Yeah.
Yeah, can. I will share the link to the slide in the chat box or chat section in the YouTube channel, or perhaps yeah, I think I can share in the YouTube channel. Great.
Cool.
I have it in my slide actually, but it comes a bit later. Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Alright, okay.
If you want to scan it now, this is the Dr. H slide. Wonderful. It really okay. Just quick one. Of all the things that you've said just now, I think you've actually given us like 15, 25 times, 25 or 30 tools, 30 platforms that you've given us. Which one do you use most?
I use the most because it's very difficult. We are talking about undergraduate students from different places. So I usually have a combination of tools. I use most of the times I use Go Formative, Mentimeter. I use also Flipgrade because I love to listen to students' reflection. I love to make them talking and tell me what do they feel about something. And I also use Telegram, believe it or not. I use a quiz board, I use pull board in Telegram, and we
Alah,
do have a
banyak
lot
lah tu. Sikit je. Okay,
platform.
banyak.
Okay, correct. Okay.
Okay, all right. And I think
Maybe another session for 2 hours. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the things that you said just now, giving reflections and feedback is key, isn't it? Both of them are key to successful learning. Thank you again, Dr. H. I think Praveen tak sabar. He's ready.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I'll see you in a bit.
Over to you.
The plenary session later on. Okay.
All right, okay, thank you.
Praveen, are you ready, Praveen? I want, let's now invite Mr. Praveen to share some of his success story and a bit of unsuccessful before become successful stories as well. So you've got 20 minutes, Praveen. I'll interrupt you when 17 minutes is up. Okay?
All right, sure.
It's yours.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so the admin, can you please put up my slides? Okay, so I'm Praveen. I'm Mr. Praveen. I'm currently teaching in SMK Padang Midin. I just got posted in January 2020, so I'm pretty new in that school. And I'm also pretty new in teaching online. So I hope what I'm going to share today makes some sense. I don't think these are like great success stories, but these are just things which I feel that have resonated with me, and I hope it can help all of us in navigating this territory which we are new in. Okay. So today, before I start, can you please quickly go to this Padlet link and describe your online teaching experience? I'm also going to quickly put this in the YouTube comment. So, so you can have you can make your comments on how online teaching has been for you. Let me just put this in the YouTube. Okay, all right. So I've pasted this link in the YouTube chat box, so you can just copy and you can just go there and describe your online teaching experience. It'd be great to hear from all of you. I know a lot of you are teachers out there listening to this, and Dr. H just gave us a lot of cool tools that we can definitely use in teaching, in our teaching experience, in our teaching pedagogy. Okay, so let's just start quickly. So today, firstly, I'll be sharing about how to effectively start online teaching, and then the challenges that I faced as a teacher, and then the challenges for my learners from my perspective, which I felt, and then the interventions which I did. Now my interventions are pretty simple, straightforward. So there's nothing fancy about it, but it's very contextualized. So that's what worked well for my students. And then I will end with 3 key takeaways. Okay, all right. So now before we start online teaching. Now, online teaching is a whole new beast, it's a whole new thing. To be honest, I think at this current stage we are in, we are not really prepared for online teaching, but the pandemic has rushed us into it. So it's very important for us as teachers to, before we start online teaching, is to really understand your context, to define your context, your students. So it's important to know your students' needs and level. And upon understanding this, is also important, essential to understand your students' proficiency in navigating online learning. Now, our students are basically like these people called digital natives, because they are growing up using TikTok, using Instagram, but that doesn't necessarily translate to online learning. Now, online learning and using social media are two different things. And for students, mobile phones have always been associated with an entertainment device. So it is essential for us to understand how they navigate online learning. Upon understanding this, it actually allows us to create tasks or create lessons which actually caters for them, and some kind of learning takes place. And secondly, after we are able to define our context, because each context is very unique. So the second thing we should do is to find our own strengths as teachers. Now, every teacher comes into the room, comes into the class with unique personalities, and all teachers have pros and cons, different strengths, different weaknesses. And what I feel we are currently in is online teaching is basically crisis teaching. That is how I define online teaching today at this point of time we are in, because we are basically trying to reduce the learning loss. We are mitigating the crisis of learning. So it's important for us to know our strengths and weaknesses. For example, myself, now I'm not really someone who's very good to speak in front of the camera, or to conduct online lessons, or to record myself, because I'm a very shy guy in real life. I'm also quite an introvert, so it's very difficult for me to record myself. But that is my weakness. But my strength is I'm able to design good lessons and stuff like this. So I had to work on my strengths, and later on I will show you an example of how I leveraged my strength to make online learning doable for me as a teacher. Now, we always talk about online learning, online teaching, focusing on the student, but we also need to focus on the teacher. Now, teachers, but I would definitely want to say that Malaysian teachers are like really working hard, are really like trying their best to put out content. I think there was a survey done before stating that Malaysian teachers like were the highest ranked using Google Meet. So we are like out there, we are trying our best, but we definitely have a lot to do. But it's important for us to understand our strengths and weaknesses before we create a design lessons for our students. And finally, it's important to make learning accessible for the students. So what I feel is like we need to continuously get feedback from students, and then we improve the learning process. So it's a tinkering process, and it takes time. It's not something that you become an expert with within a few days. Online learning, online teaching takes a lot of time. So there's a lot of great comments here. There's one comment from Dr. Azhar actually. The most difficult part is when students are having poor internet connection. Exactly. We don't, I think we don't have the right infrastructure at this current point of time to cater online learning and to maximize online learning for every student. But I think we're trying to make significant progress in this. Okay. So moving on, the challenges that I faced as a perspective from a teacher. Now, I was unprepared going into online teaching during the first MCO, which happened in March, and it was right after the school holiday. So it was really difficult for me to navigate. I don't know what I was doing. This is why I said online teaching is crisis teaching. We are just trying to reduce the learning loss. Now, learning loss is going to happen. Our students are not going to learn much, but we have to reduce and mitigate this. Another thing is I was not sure how to provide meaningful feedback, and I was not sure how to design online lessons. So the tools that Dr. Hayes just presented, now these are the tools that we are going to use. And I wasn't really prepared in this because I'm a very face-to-face kind of a teacher. I'm very chill in the classroom, enjoying the students' presence, and that is me. So to suddenly go online, I felt it was really difficult for me. So moving on, this comes down to the second challenge which I faced. I felt online teaching was very artificial. Like even right now, I'm talking to the camera, there's no one, there's no audience. No, it's really difficult for me. I feel it's like a one-way interaction that I need to talk for 20 minutes and fill up the entire conversation. So for me, it was very artificial. I felt I was talking to nobody, and I felt there was no real learning taking place. This was how I felt. I felt the whole thing was just very artificial, very one way. I wasn't sure how to navigate this, and I was always clueless. And I felt the learning outputs felt intangible. Now in school, in classrooms, when you go and teach, what happens is basically the student just gives you their homework. They discuss in the class. It looks tangible, like you can see and you can assess. But for me, it was difficult because I felt the feedback was also superficial. I felt learning was not concrete, and I could not keep progress of my students' work. So this was also quite difficult for me. Okay, moving on. Okay, now these are some stats, rough statistics basically. Now, I felt 15% of my learners ghosted me during this period of online teaching, the first MCO. They did not show up for classes. There was a complete loss of contact and loss of learning. Most of these students are from low income backgrounds. Now, there are multiple factors for this thing I call ghosting. The students just vanished, and it was difficult for me to reach out to them. And then 30% of my students failed to submit work or attend online classes, or they attended online classes sparingly, meaning they would attend one class and then disappear another class. So it was also very difficult for me to keep track of them. Okay, and then some learning did take place, but I felt it was not maximized. And then 25% of my students, I would say they are resilient. They are resilient, and they were able to join and participate in the classes. So I felt that they did learn to something. And thank you, Esther Oy. Yes, it feels like talking to a wall with no responses at all. It's a very lonely process. Okay, I'm going to continue. All right, so what intervention I did? Now, the first intervention I did was I created a website for my students. Now, this was leveraging on my strength because I'm lucky that I know how to create website, but not all teachers are able to create websites. So I was quite lucky in this. I felt that a website would be helpful for my students. So this is the website, pmidainenglish.wordpress.com. Now, how this helped my teaching and learning. Now, for me as a teacher, I managed to keep track of my students' work. It also allowed me to see the learners' continuity of progress. Now, this was something missing when I did my online classes, which was synchronous. Students would come and they would leave. By having this website, it became a repository for students to actually go in and learn, and they can use it at their own time. So it enabled asynchronous learning. And that's what really helped me and helped my students also, I feel. Now, for my learners, how this website was helpful was it provided an easier interface for students to learn, and there was no specific time, okay? And it was easier for my students to see their mistakes. So I could, whenever they commented something on the website, I would give the feedback. And then students can revisit their work. This also helped my students to actually see their work and see their mistakes. Okay. Now, there's a question here by Ahmad Muhammad. Do you think offline teaching can be considered as teaching? Now, I'm not sure how to answer this question, but as a teacher myself, I would definitely consider offline teaching as teaching as well. Because end of the day, you are there, you have a relationship with your students. Regardless it's online or offline, I think it helps with the interaction. Now, of course, online teaching, as in you being there with the Google Meet, it also helps the process. But what we need to understand here is some of these students that we are dealing with, they don't have access to internet. Like one of my students, he told me one day, "Sir, I cannot attend your class today because my mother is going to work and my internet is unable to support the Google Meet session." And so what I had to do was I created a video specially for him later on. Basically, I recorded the class on Google Meet class and I sent it to him. But again, So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit difficult as well. So it's important here to understand your context, and it's important to keep in touch with your students. For example, like, you know, a student cannot attend at this period of time, you send him the work, you send him what he needs to do, you give him the video which you created or what, for him to see, and then you contact him and say, okay, when can you hand in your homework, and something like this. You have to, it has to be very interactive, and to a certain point it's also very individual centric. Okay, so this is the website which I created, and this definitely helped me with my teaching and learning process. I'm going to go on to the next one. Okay, the next thing I did was I produced a short and simple video content with bilingual narrations. Basically, I tried to make learning accessible for my students. So for many of my students, they're not very proficient in the language, and if for me to go full on English would make little sense to them, and they're just going to shut off their computer or their laptop or their phones. So I did this really simple online videos, YouTube videos, and I recorded them using FreeCam. So FreeCam is this online tool. It's not an online tool, it's an offline tool. You can download it, it is free. And I just recorded it and I uploaded it. Very simple, very straightforward, nothing fancy. So I uploaded those videos on YouTube, and students can access them anytime, anywhere. And students can revisit notes and their work. And also this becomes a repository for learning, and also becomes a repository for me. There's a good question here from Madam Gladys. Would you say, Praveen, that a teacher trying his best, exploring all possible ways is already a success? I think that defines, I think it depends how you define success. I think we are all still learning in this process. It takes a long time to actually reach, to have a very successful class, and it takes time to build on this. And you can have an excellent class on Tuesday but have a terrible class on Wednesday, and that can happen anytime to anybody. So it's definitely it depends on how we want to define success, and it also depends on how the teacher views success is. Like for me, I get like six students from my bottom class doing something meaningful. I feel that is a success. So it really depends. Okay, all right, we're going to move on a little bit. Okay, the next thing I did was, okay, this is one of the examples for my SPM students. So I taught them how to do summary. It's online, and I felt this video for me was a real success, because my students could visit it anytime, watch it anytime, and then see the strategies which I use to answer the summary question for SPM. So this was something which I can build on, and my students can relate to, and they can learn from anywhere, anytime. So that is what I felt the website did, and these videos also helped me achieving that. Okay, I'm going to move on a little bit. Okay, now build online learning is basically, it takes time to build a community in order to make in order to make it effective. So with online learning, it's important for us to actually build a community with our students. You start off with one student, and then two students, and then it builds and it builds and it builds. So it's not something, I feel, this is me, it's not something which I'm able to do within a week. It's something which I have to build on and keep on building. And I felt that one thing that has been really helpful for me during the whole process of this online learning, I don't think this can resonate with others, but I try to make learning a little bit competitive. Now, this is for high-performing students, I feel. For low-performing students, I don't think this I would encourage this, but I might be wrong. Once again, it depends on your context and depends on your students. Okay, so one of the activities I did was I got students to actually create videos of their daily routine. So this for me was highly engaging, and students felt interested in conducting this activity. And also they were, most of them, they actually, when I first designed this activity, this creating your own video of your daily routine, I never thought that they would participate. But then I was shocked, like most of them actually participated in this class, in this task. That's why I felt like some of these students, they are resilient and they are willing to do. If you show them, if you teach them and you say to them, okay, this is what I need you guys to do, they will be able to do it. So that was something which I felt was very successful for me. Okay. Okay. Now, so there's a comment here from Azlinda 5832. Online can be synchronous or asynchronous or a mix of both ways. Exactly. It's very difficult to have a synchronous class all the time because sometimes it doesn't match with the students' time schedule actually, and also the internet connection. So I felt like it was important for me to also go for asynchronous techniques, and luckily my students have been a little bit helpful. Okay. And also for high performing students, like what I did was I made like a scoring chart. And that was helpful to create some kind of competition between them. Again, this is for high performing students, and it's also to keep them motivated, so they would come back and do the activities. So that was another reason why that I did this scoring chart. In a while I will show it to you. Okay. All right. So we'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so this is the video and audio task which I did for my students. Okay, all right. Okay, now there's a question here by Ain Afifa. How did you keep track with them, and how can you know students actually watch the videos and materials in the website? Basically, it's interaction. I had to contact my students and ask them, okay, have you done it? Or when they make mistakes in their work, I would ask them, did you watch the video that I sent to you? If you had watched, you should not make this kind of mistakes. So this was how I was able to keep track of their work, or if they have watched the video. And also for some of them, they take the shortcuts. They don't watch the video because they want to just answer the questions and get done with it. So again, I would ask them, it's a lot of in online learning sessions, there's a lot of personalization actually. It takes a lot of your time actually compared to face-to-face teaching. But then again, it also depends on the students. Some of them are like, some of them are able to answer the questions without watching the videos, which I kind of respect them because they feel they are really competent, which is good. But for those like weaker learners, they actually really, I would say they're very resilient. They take the time to watch, and they are able to actually complete the activities. Again, most of these students are going to take the shortcut, and I really applaud them for actually watching the videos and doing the task. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next. Okay, this is a slide. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, this is the score chart which I did. I'm only showing exercise 1. There's a few exercises. Okay, so this actually keep tracks of their progress. So like Elina, Ifa, Nadira, I shouldn't mention their names but my point here being is like this score chart actually keeps track of their progress. Again, these students are good students. They're high performing students. They're in the first class for my Form 4. So these students they compete with each other. You compete with each other. So when they compete, they want to do better than their friends. So coming back to the question earlier by Ain Afifa, so they don't want to make much mistakes, right? Okay, and so they don't want to make mistakes in their work, right? So they would definitely watch the video. They would definitely make sure they are writing the correct answers. So this is the one thing which I did. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next slide. Okay, my time is up, is finishing. Okay, very quickly, the three key takeaways. Okay, okay. Now, first, each teacher is unique, and there's no one right way to teach online. There's different ways. This is what I learned. So leverage on your strength and teach according to your context. And online learning means using different online platforms. Utilizing different platforms to teach is the best way to reach your students. So I have a friend, Yazid, I hope you're watching this. And I've also many other teacher friends who are doing crazy, like really awesome job. But I just want to point out my friend Yazid right here. So he's actually okay, just give me a minute. Okay, he's actually using he uses Instagram to teach English, and it has been really beneficial for him. And he creates this amazing content on Instagram actually to actually teach students, and it has been great. Watching his videos has been great, and I think very eye-catching as well for his students. And this is his strength. He's utilizing his strength to teach English, and he's same for all teachers out there doing amazing stuff. It's important that we use multiple platforms and leverage on our strength. And also, I feel like online learning is building an online community. It is essential and it takes time. It's not something which you can do it like over time. Like it took me a long time during the first 3 months to actually really understand what it took me, like actually 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, okay. There's a question here. I'm going to quickly take this question by Madam Lim Peksim. Okay, Mr. Praveen, how do you get feedback from your students after classes offline or online? Does it help you in your lesson planning? To be honest with you, what I do is I will message 1 or 2 of them privately. I will ask them, okay, how was the video? Were you able to understand what I'm saying? And they would respond. They would say, sir, the audio is not so good, lah. So we can hear a fan sound. We can hear that. Can you please improve the audio quality? Or sir, we don't really understand what you're saying in this. And then I would tweak. So that is one thing which I did with them. Constantly getting feedback for them. And then I have one student, he got grammar past perfect. He got everything wrong. I personally WhatsApp me and said, okay, I don't want to say his name, okay? I tell him you got everything wrong. This is what happened. Then he said, oh yeah, lah, sir, I didn't watch the video. That's why, sir, I just simply hantam. So these are the things. So it's very interactive online. And WhatsApp has been amazing. Okay, I think that's all from me. So Dr. Azhar, is there anything? We move. Are there anything else? Okay.
I think you have actually this is sorry Pravina, I just have to do this. This is what young ones can do, they are multitasking. What Pravin did just now, he did his presentation, he answered question, he actually chat with us at the same time. Like, it's just like you have octopus fingers, Pravin. You want semua at one time. Bravo, Pravin. Very well done.
Okay, it was yeah.
I think you shared some fabulous point of view that relates with everyone. It relates to us very closely, I think, and I think reflection is key. At the end of the day, I think, Pravin, we try to do great things, but if we don't ask the students for feedback, if we don't reflect on our failures and unsuccessfulness behind whatever we did, it's not going to be good, isn't it? So I think reflection is key, and feedback from our students.
Yes, definitely. I feel the same too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I concur with one of the viewers saying that Aiman Hakimi Mat Azman. He said that it's not what we get that define our success, it's what we do. It is spot on. Yeah, it's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were saying, sorry?
Yeah, I feel like online teaching is like one day you are like this having crazy class, like everything is perfect, and then the next day you feel like a complete failure. One person attends your class, so it's like it's a crazy mix of things. Nothing like face-to-face teaching lah, but hopefully online learning is a very unknown territory. But I think we are trying to navigate it lah. So let's see lah.
Yeah. As you said just now, navigate through crisis teaching, isn't it? That's what we are doing. And I think it's not just in schools. Even us in university, we face the same exact same issues as you are having now. So that's the wonderful thing about Melta. I mean, we share the same problems, we share the same issues, and we can actually talk about it and how we can actually replicate what others do successfully. I'm going to stop Yazid since you told us.
Sir Yazid Fauzi, that's his Instagram ID.
Yeah. Yazid,
yeah,
be prepared. Be prepared for more followers, Yazid.
okay, he's a teacher in Kemaman. I'm not sure SMK. I'm not sure the school, so I don't want to say the wrong name. Yeah,
It's okay. Yeah. All right. Good. Okay. Thank you so much, Praveen, for your
thank you.
wonderful input with us. Thank you. All right. Our last panelist for today, Madam Im. Are you ready, Im? She's going to share with us some tools that can actually help us in assessing again and giving feedback to our students, inshallah. So whenever you are ready, Im, we are going to have Im for 20 minutes, inshallah. While waiting for Im, I'm going to read some of the comments here. Nick Iziani said, the first week you feel like a champ, another week you feel like a loser, and during yeah, down here. And again, as remember, like Tuan Haji Azman said just now, lifelong learning, it's better than jamu. It keeps us young. Okay, Im, over to you. Im, we can't hear you, Im. Your mic.
Okay.
All right, over to you.
All right. Sorry about that. So
No
hi
worries.
everybody. Hi everybody.
Hi, everybody, it's me. Hi.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everybody. My name is Halimatus Saadia Abdul Rahman. So I'll be giving my take on how I've been handling with the challenging online learning setting, online learning and teaching setting. So to begin, I've been teaching at UMT for the past 10 years. I've taught public speaking, academic writing skill, and English for occupational purpose. So last semester was a complete new experience for myself, and I think most of my colleagues. I had to teach academic writing skill. It's a course to help develop students' writing skill. So imagine in March last year, in the middle of the semester, boom, we had to go through MCO, and we had to ask the students to submit their assignments online. So last semester, personally, I had difficulty in teaching as well as giving feedback to my students when it comes to their writing. So that's why I look around and I found this magic tablet. Okay, so before we talk further about this magic tablet, I need your assistance to go to slido.com, slido.com, and key in this number, this code 24525, 24525, and just simply answer that one question.
Answered.
All right. So it's nothing new. Alhamdulillah. So now I'm being humbled by this information.
Not
Okay.
not too early.
Okay, not too early. Okay, my bad. So 50-50.
Wow. Okay. So we'll stop here at 63 respondents. 75%, 76% have used a tablet before. And no, sorry. 25% have used a tablet before, and 76% have yet to use it. I say yet because I hope after my presentation you will be convinced to do otherwise, to buy one. Okay, so like I said just now, my challenges were how to give feedback and how to teach effectively to students about writing skills. The most challenging part would be assessing them, because they need feedback in order to know the work that they have submitted is according to the scheme of answer, is according to the academic way of writing. So I talked to a few people. So most of them use a tablet. For example, iPad, like Dr. H. Then there's Samsung tablet. And then there's using screenshots. So I browsed around and I found this drawing tablet. Okay. Personally, I like to use and look for cheaper options. So my husband does own an iPad, but because he's using and he's teaching also, so I don't want to bother him. So I look for a cheaper one, and something that just would allow me to just sit somewhere and mark away all my students' assignments. So this is very small. Okay, this is how it looks like in life. Okay, it's very small. It's even smaller than a notebook. Okay, this is my son's notebook. Okay, and it comes with a pen, which is battery free, and you just put it in front of you, just like you do, just like when you mark a normal paper. Okay, so there are several platforms that I use this tablet to mark. So the first one is marking a Word document. So let me show you one Word document. So say for example, this is a document sent by your student and he or she has answered it. Now, for your information, I use Microsoft 365, a software that is freely available to education staff under KPM, under university. So I downloaded this from the UMT facility, and I can use it both offline as well as online. So how do I know it is online? When I click autosave. That means it is being saved in the online server. So here, OneDrive, umtedu.my. So this is the name of my account. Ta-da! So it's saved. Okay. So how do I mark it? So without this tablet, I will not be able to draw a proper tick mark, or to circle it properly just using a mouse. So with using this, okay, I select the color and start marking. Oh yes, very good, very good, very good, very good. And then how do I return it to my students? So I click, because this is autosave, I click share. So the option says anyone with the link can edit. I don't want my students to edit, so I will not allow them. And then apply, copy the link, copy, and send this link, not the document, to your student. Okay. Before I proceed, I would just like to tell you that my students are mostly university students. So they are used to all of this. We send online information, online documents for them to check. And then upon asking, they also prefer having links rather than the whole document, because it just basically crowds their memory, the phone memory. If they are using a PC, it does not matter, but most of them, they prefer using a handphone. So once saved, they will also see these ticks and feedback if you want. So I would say, good job, Ain. For example, if the student's name is Ain, and then a bit of love there, okay? And it's saved. Okay, so this is a Microsoft document. Now, next one, I use this tablet also to mark a PowerPoint file. Again, my PowerPoint is using Microsoft 365. So here on the document, in the file itself, you can also see the drawing tool. It's similar to the words just now. So again, click. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Okay, very good. And because as you can see, it is saved automatically. And if I want to share this with my student, again, I click the sharing link. All right. Again, no editing unless you allow it. Apply, copy link, copy, and again, send it to the WhatsApp or Telegram group that you have with the student. Okay. Next, I mark my students' work using a PDF. I mark students' work, those who submit a PDF file. So here is an example of a PDF file. Again, it's a verb phrase exercise taken from the internet. Okay, so not all PDF readers and writers are able to do this. So I just simply Google online and I look for a PDF writer or annotator. I found this PDF Office, PDF Editor, Reader, Merger. So I'll show you on the tab. All right. So this is how it looks like when you are trying to download it. Okay. So it recognizes Microsoft products, the best PDF reader design for all the ways you work. To download, just click Get. Description. It can annotate, mark up with highlights, add text comment, stamps, free handwriting, fill out forms right in your PDF file. Okay, so let's have a look. So once you've downloaded it, it'll be just like any apps. And if you have a PDF file, right click and click Open with PDF Office, PDF Editor. So the option to use is Draw Free Form. So it looks like this. Unfortunately, it does not have a red pen. Red pens, red is a teacher's color actually. So they should have incorporated that color. So I chose here the darkest would be a purple. And mark away, people. Mark, mark, mark. So awesome. And again, how do you send it back to your students? You save it. You save it and you give it back to your students via your Google Classroom, via WhatsApp, via Telegram. Okay. Next, I also ask students to submit their work via Padlet. So like Dr. H mentioned just now and Praveen also mentioned just now, Padlet is a popular tool among the students as well as the teachers, so it's nothing new. What's new is how to mark it. Okay, so I found that you can actually annotate websites. So what I do is I go to Chrome Web Store, all right, and click and write paint in the search column. Okay, so you have several options here: web paint, paint tool, web paint. Okay, more not themes. So these are actually annotation tools that you can get for free for Chrome as well as for Mozilla. Okay, Mozilla Firefox. So once you downloaded it, so because I've downloaded this, it says here remove from Chrome. Once you have downloaded it, you will see it on the address bar. So this is paint tool. Sometimes it's hidden. So what you need to do, click on this puzzle looking thing and then look for the extension you want and click pin it to the browser. So once it's pinned, you will able to see the icon over here. All right, so let's open one work from my student. So how do I annotate her work? So click here. This is how this paint tool would look like. So here is the option of pencil, draw custom line. This is color picker. This is text. I don't want text. Okay. So I know in Padlet you can give your feedback here, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same because you're typing. So the typing should be done by the students. For the teachers, it has to be like this. Okay. So click on here. It's red, transparency, and mark away. So as you mark, you will see this thing to show that you are in control. Okay, so this class, they were asked to write one whole paragraph using simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences. So simple sentence, correct. Gardenia, oh, I don't like red anymore. Let's change it to pink. Okay, yes, nice, very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so good job, Tira. See you in class tomorrow. Yay! Say for example. And then how to give this to my student? You click this icon with the camera. Ta-da! It becomes a JPEG kind of file. But not yet. You have to click download. Or if you want, copy to clipboard. And then right click on the image and select copy image option. So use your save image, copy image. So you send this image to your student via WhatsApp or via Telegram for them to be able to see your feedback. Okay, so once you've downloaded, it's saved on your desktop. So what you've written here, okay, so click on the erase or the broom icon. It's all gone. Click on this exit for quitting and it's done. So it's saved somewhere on your PC. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so my next method of marking using this drawing tab is Google Classroom. So I don't heavily use this because in UMT we have our own platform. Okay, so this is my Google Classroom, K15, and then the assignment. So say for example, I want to look at Nur Fatin Afrinas. Okay, verb phrases, Google. So this is her response. Now, before I start marking her assignment, I have to first download another extension from the Chrome Web Store, or you can also find from the Mozilla Web Store. Okay, the extension is called Kami. Okay, enter, and this is how it looks like. Click it, and because I have downloaded it, that's why it shows here remove from Chrome. Once you have downloaded it, on your browser, the right hand side, or on my side is right hand, so you will see this icon Kami. Again, if you cannot find it, click on the puzzle icon and you will see all the downloaded extensions. Okay, so this is kami, and I click pin extension so that it's readily available here. Okay, so that's done. Let's go to my student's work. Now, because I have downloaded kami, you will see on the right hand side, there is the kami icon. Okay, that means it is kami adaptable. You can use this drawing tablet to write your feedback or annotate her work. So I click drawing. I want to go green. So I ask them to look up an article online and look for the verb phrases. So this is the link. And then she wrote died, collided, said, were identified, were injured, taken, escape, had to use, remove, trapped, has yet to be identified, and arrived. Very good. All right. What else? Love, 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 love. That's my signature. And then you click return. Return. Straight away, student Fatini will be receiving the same document, and she does not have to download this kami extension on her side. Okay, she will straight away receive my feedback on Google Classroom. Okay, so far I've talked about Words, PowerPoint, PDF, and Google Classroom. Oh, one word of advice, unfortunately, kami is only available for 45 days. After that, you have to purchase. So at the moment, I have not found any other application that allows you to mark using this drawing tab in your Google Classroom. Google Classroom is suitable for those with iPads, unfortunately. So I just like to share with you, even though it's a 45-day trial period, it's still usable for those who are using Google Classroom. Okay, so moderator, do I have any questions from the floor?
Im, just now somebody asked, where can you get your tablet from? Where did you buy it from?
Shopee! I
Okay,
love Shopee. Okay.
so that's your answer, Shopee. There is no bulk buy. Bulk buy cheaper. No.
No, I asked the supplier, and they said no, they don't offer bulk
Bulk buy.
purchases.
Okay. All right. So which one do you use most, Im? Is it a Word or the Padlet just now? Which one do you use most?
Word and Padlet.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No questions just yet. Boleh sambung. We can continue on.
Okay. There's a
Oh,
question from Madam Azima. Do you have suggestions for an alternative Word document if you don't have access to Microsoft 365? Okay, I tried this also with an older version of Microsoft. They do have a drawing option in the ribbon. So yes, but it's not as outstanding as Microsoft 365.
Okay.
Okay, if there's nothing, I have one last question for the viewers. So before that, so this is my take on this drawing tablet. Why, Madam Halima, you want to buy drawing tablet when you have iPads out there? Okay, so I've told you just now, I want to look for a cheaper version. And most importantly, when I give feedback, I can personalize. So online setting is already dehumanized, I think, because you don't have this face-to-face interaction. So at least I can give a very humanizing kind of feedback rather than just typing my suggestion, feedback for improvement. So it gives that old school feeling. In fact, one of my students said, I love the way that you write in the whiteboard, in the Jamboard, and even in the PowerPoint, madam. It feels like, you know, we're in class. Okay, so like I saw one comment from Mr. Ahmad Muhammad. He commented on Pravin's presentation just now. Getting feedback is the key. Correct. So I feel that giving this kind of feedback is important for me to be able to teach them, and it's important for them to learn something from my lessons. Okay, so one last question. Please go to slido.com and the same number. How do you feel about using drawing tablet in your teaching? So after you've seen my short presentation just now, what do you feel about using drawing tablet in your teaching?
I'm trying to give my response too.
Thank you.
How long have you been using this, Im? You seem like a pro.
No, I try to be. It has been a few months. I have been actively using it since October. Before that, it was just marking, but I didn't use it in teaching.
Right.
Oh,
Is it anyone else in your team using the tablet as well, or is it you alone in ELC, UMT?
at the moment, I know Madam Kaizani and Madam Nadia are using it. For my other colleagues, they are using a different tab, but it has similar features. Modern yet classic. I like that.
That's so you, isn't it? Modern yet classic.
Yeah.
That is so you. Yeah. It's wonderful that we can personalize things for our students. I think students still need that, isn't it? They
Yes,
still
correct.
need personal touches, yeah, in their life.
They still feel that you are interacting with them. You are actually reviewing their work.
Yeah. Somebody cares about them. You know, that's very important, I think, personal touch. Done add to cart. Sempat Shopee.
Oh, 43, 44.
Yeah.
Is that similar to
Wonderful.
offline teaching that we all miss? Yes.
There's a question, Im, from Nurul Kamalia Yusof down there.
Okay.
Madam, can you use the paid extension to grade assignments on Google Classroom?
Sorry, can we use the pen extension to grade? Yes. If you do so, that means you have to screenshot their work instead of sending the feedback via Google Classroom.
Okay. Of course. Since you are using the iPad, Zahamat. Okay. So thank you. So that's our third panelists. So can we bring in all three panelists on the screen, please? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. It's wonderful, isn't it? It's only 1 hour and 2 hours, and we have shared many new things in teaching and learning. Okay, I'm just going to forward this question to all of you. All of you can respond, or maybe one of you can respond. It's about management system like Google Classroom or e-learning platform. Research says that it can actually organize your teaching and learning better. However, it does use a lot of space, especially for low bandwidth, is not as it's not as efficient for learning. What do you think? Is LMS important in learning, online learning? Wah, lat talilat. Lat talilat.
Dr. H.
Okay, pandai tadi that. All right. If you were to ask me, it's not about whether a platform is important or not important. What do you want to? What is the objective of having to use the platform? If like Praveen mentioned just now, either you want to use synchronous or asynchronous. So if your intention is to have learning asynchronously, then you may need to use LMS platform. But other than that, of course, as an educator, I always believe that when it comes to online learning setting, you have to, as I mentioned just now, humanizing technology. It is no longer about classroom management, but it is more of classroom relationship. So when we talk about relationship, educators will have to be empathy. You should know, you will have to analyze your students' condition, whether they are in the area of high bandwidth, minimum bandwidth, or low bandwidth. So that's why when I like it when Praveen mentioned that it is an integration of different way, asynchronously or synchronously, because if students are having bad internet connection and they will not be able to go to LMS platform, educators, you will have to plan for, because the letters are from A to Z. So it shouldn't be up until plan B. It has to be up until plan Z. So you have to prepare different ways for students to get access into learning. So it's not the matter whether the platform is important or not, but your empathy and the importance of achieving the objective. So maybe the rest would like to add up. Pandai, eh? Okay, add up,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, I would like to add a little bit from what Dr. H said. I think
Yes.
Malaysian teachers, we tend to think of LMS a lot because I think maybe because of a system, very hierarchical. The way we live our daily life is very system based, you know. So LMS is something that, like I created the website, and that's also basically an LMS, right? So I totally understand. Like if a teacher said, "Oh, I want to do I want to do a Google Meet session, or I want to use Google Classroom. Students are not participating. What can I do?" I think it really comes down to the context, and just like what Dr. H, Madam Im said, humanizing the tech, and providing the best feedback you can give. If you have like, if you are teaching the last class, you have like 30 students. To be honest, you only can reach out to maybe 5 to 8. That's about it. What about the rest? I really don't know. But from my within, I only can do what is within my power, within my within my reach. So the most important things besides being empathy, like what Dr. Hayes said, is building resilience in your students. Making them resilient is also very important. That they can overcome any adversity. Resilient students are usually found in the front classes to the mid classes. At the back classes, students already give up already. That's why they are there. So that is where we really need to focus on lah, actually. But that's for another talk lah.
Okay. I think we have like a few minutes to go, Ken. Since we have no questions left, do we have any? I'm looking at them again. I don't think we have any, is it? We've gone through all. Any last word from you? Im? Yes,
Okay.
Siap angkat tangan dah, cikgu saja.
I think I'm like all the other participants. I learned a lot today. And Dr. H and Praveen, you've ignited this spark that I cannot remain the same way, I cannot use the same teaching method throughout my whole teaching life. Okay, you need to experiment with others, and most importantly, yes, empathy. Ask the students, how is your internet connection? So from there, we can choose the different options available on teaching and learning in order to give what we can, and in the end, they learn something from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Praveen?
I just want to say, It all comes down to your context. As a teacher, you see your context, teach according to your context, reach out to as many students as possible. If you cannot reach, it's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't think you're a failure, and always keep tinkering. I think that's all, I guess. We just need to make our students resilient, make ourselves resilient as teachers as well, as educators. Okay.
Thank you. Dr.
That's
H,
it.
what about you?
I think I'm going to be concluding this in a very relaxing way. I know that everyone, every educator or teacher is struggling out there. We are with you. May the force be with us, but don't give up. Keep trying, keep exploring, regardless of whatever way you're using, whatever tools. Remember, our main important objective is to ensure that learning is happening. So I hope everything, our discussion today is very significant to everybody, and we learn a lot. Yes, like Im mentioned just now, I do learn a lot from Im, and I do learn a lot from Praveen as well, and from everybody. So I wish everyone all the best.
Thank you. So just before we end, I would like you to spare 1 minute for all of the audience here to scan the QR codes. Admin, can you share us the QR code slide, please? The first one is the webinar evaluation form to be filled by all, please, including the KPM teachers. Can you scan this? When you scan this, we will get your information and we will actually issue you e-certificates of attendance, inshallah. Scan, yeah? 10, 9. Oh boy. And the second QR code will be the QR code to be filled by KPM teachers is for your ESPLG attendance. All right, so I'm giving you a minute to switch on your QR code decoder and scan it. So iklan short advert to all English teachers all over Terengganu, all over Malaysia. Come and join us, Melta. Go to the website, please, www.melta.org.my. I think from the webinar today, I can summarize a few things, just gist, okay? One, there's no shortcut in learning, okay? We have to keep on downloading the knowledge all the time, just to make sure we are at par with the students. We don't lose the students along the way. I think that's very important. And reflections to be better teachers, to be better servant of God is just essential for everyone to actually do every day. All right. All right, I think we are at the end of our webinar. I hope it has been very meaningful and beneficial to all. On behalf of Melta Terengganu chapter, thank you to all our wonderful panelists. From top, my top, yeah. Im, Allah, janganlah tukar. This is harder. Okay. Clockwise. Im, Praveen, and Dr. H, thank you so much for your time. You know what, guys, we have been preparing a lot for this, so I thank you so much for the time well spent, inshallah. Thank you, Brick to Clicks committee members, the technical team. Thank you to all of you who stay put till the end. And the greatest things are gifts from him, and all the weaknesses, all the shortcomings are all from us, the people behind the screens. We apologize for all our shortcomings. Yeah, with that, I close the seminar with tasbih kafara salawat. Subhanakallah bihamdik asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Innal insana lafi khusr Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe.
Yep. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Dr. Azhar. Thanks, Praveen. Bye, Im.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. H, Praveen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, everyone.